Welcome.
Thanks.
All right, here we are, folks. This is exciting. Times are getting a little crazier and crazier, but we're about to start having some fun, I think. A lot of fun. And you probably already are. It's been an interesting few weeks, or I guess last few months, really. I have been sick for 2 weeks, over 2 weeks now. So I'm just now kind of getting over it. So I may cough a little bit during this, and hopefully it won't happen during light language, but it may. So just bear with me, because that's been I've had it like a chest cold for 2.5 weeks. And I know a lot of people have been sick in this time, and we're just doing a lot of clearing right now, which is fantastic. I'll allow that. That's not a problem. But anyway, just some interesting things I kind of wanted to start off with. And it's regarding the codes that came through. I have 2 light codes and then some other information to talk about for today. I won't talk a lot about the things, and I want to get your feedback on what you guys are feeling, because that's really what it's all about. I mean, the light codes they're not words, they are energy, they are frequencies, and they are to activate within, going through the heart space, activating within everyone's being, in whatever way that means. And some we won't know, and some we will get a download or get information from our higher self or from one of our aspects. So this started out, these 2 light codes, right before I left. I went to my family in Texas for the Thanksgiving holiday. And I had just come into, I knew I needed to get in touch with a healer that I had worked with about 2.5 years ago. And I knew I needed to get in touch with her. And through this, I won't go through the details, but through this synchronistic events, I got all of her information because I didn't have it. And we connected. And so from that point, we planned to get together to do some healing work together. And I had that all planned out to happen like the week before the week of the 4th, when I originally was scheduling this. That didn't work out. I had the sickness that I came back with. So I knew that there was something else that I needed to experience before this call on the 12th and coming through this date. So a friend of mine in India had messaged me about this group on Facebook, which I don't do Facebook a lot, but when I saw the name of it, it just like activated me. And I said, okay, I got to get on this group because there's something going on here. As soon as I got into the group, I saw that there was a meditation that was about to happen, and it was on the 4th. So that's why I didn't do this on the 4th, other than I was also very sick at the time. And that meditation was about the Cathars. And I don't know how many of you know about the Cathars, but probably many of you were there. And the meditation was about, in case you don't know, the Cathars were a group in France that really carried through the Essenes mystery schools, information, sacred knowledge. And they secreted that away while they had their own community and taught and, that sacred knowledge. Anyway, there was a genocide with the Cathars. And within that genocide, right before it occurred, they were all actually, most of them were burned. And so the meditation was about going into that life and releasing that trauma from that time and remembering what sacred things that we knew this was going to happen. So we were intensely running to hide whatever it was that we were in charge of hiding. And so all of it really resonated with me, but I didn't get any visions because I don't typically get visions. That's not the way the energy comes through with me. It's more about synchronicities and feeling, not really visions or knowing the story so much. But through synchronicities, the next few days, I started to see the story, which was very interesting. So I'm putting that as a preface because during that, right after the meditation, we all gathered. There's a lot of people in this call. There was about 85 people in that call. I knew the light code that I had just run through, which, stepping back here, after I brought through the one light code, the first light code, which was actually a personal light code for the healer that I'm going to see. I haven't even shared that with her yet, but I knew it was attached to the second light code that came through that was about that energy, that sacred knowledge, that experience with the Cathars and the experience ultimately of what we're going through now, which we are bringing forth that sacred knowledge. So that's what the two light codes are. So there could be some activations in memories with some of you who especially do get that kind of information. So I'll be interested in the sharing, and it'll be really exciting to see what comes through for people. So that's kind of, I guess that's kind of what I wanted to express at this beginning. So do you guys have any comment or any thoughts or ideas or feelings at this time? Nobody? Okay.
No.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and we'll start going here. Okay, if I can see that. Okay, so embodiment of new energies and letting go of the old genetic imprint. December 12th, 2021 in the Golden Rose. So the sacred knowledge, the information that we're trying to bring through is all about letting go of what we've held on to, the illusion of the experiences that we've had. So the genetic imprint is in our heart. And this is what we're trying to, or we're not trying, we are bringing forth right now is this genetic imprint. And the Golden Rose, I think, is I think it's a symbolism within the Cathars. And I just put this up this morning. It's funny, there's some information that I just got this morning that I've included on here. That's how things are happening now. I used to orchestrate these things thinking I need to know everything that I needed to talk about and stuff, but that just never really worked for me. So I'm just going with the flow now and whatever comes through. So this is like a disc, with all the colors. There's something with this. I had saved this image a while back, so there is something within this image imprint also for today. It's almost like a sun disk or a data, some kind of sacred technology which holds the data. And it's very colorful. Okay, so this is the first light code. This light code is it's the one that I mentioned is a personal light code for an individual. But as I've done personal light codes for some people, and Shauna knows about this, Lori knows about this, they are also for the collective. So I'm bringing this through for us here on this call as well as the collective. But this light code is called a star you are. So in looking at it, where you see the colored circles, this is actually Orv will know this. This is actually an image of a screenshot of a star at a magnified impression through like a camera. It's the Nikon P100 camera. It's a so stars look like this, and they constantly are oscillating with all these colors.
P1000.
You what?
It's a Nikon P1000.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So they're actually oscillating, and that's what stars really look like. We see them as white, from the Earth. So this image I created based on screenshots of a video that I found, because I knew I wouldn't be able to find the image that I needed for this. So I made the image. And I was guided to make it six shots of the star in oscillation mode with the different colors coming through and different patterning. And then the overlay on top of that, which is about the frequencies. And this is about the new energies. The light codes that I'm starting from here on out is a different level of energies. It's a higher energy frequency. And that's how this is, that's how this is presenting itself. So these codes are embodiments of the higher frequencies. Any thoughts or questions?
It just seems so so dynamic. So this is one particular star, just in different, like, movement. Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like it. At first I was like, oh, these are like orbs, or a close up of a cell or something. So it's just it's so powerful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's the actual star. I mean, it oscillates. And I think the first time I saw this was at a retreat that Orb was at, and it was with his camera that we saw it. But it was a star oscillating. I don't think we knew at the time if that was a star or planet or what it was, but it is definitely a star.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, it was just after a channeling with one who serves, and we were told to go outside and look. But it was, from what I understood, it was a scout craft from Archangel Michael's mothership, the Bethlehem Star, and I have an animated GIF of that, which just looks like those pictures of yours, but there's about just over 100 of them, and they're all different. And I can email it to you, or anyone, or text anyone to it too.
Yeah, sure.
Is there a way to put it on the Zoom? It's a GIF, animated GIF.
Yeah, it probably. I don't know if I could do that right now. But definitely send that or. Yeah, definitely send that or. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, maybe planets look like this too, because they call planets stars. I'm sure the ships are formed like this too, like Orb was saying. But there's this dynamic of they're oscillating almost like it's in water or something. It's just amazing. The other thing about this code that I want to tell you is it carries the numerical code of 33. Which is very powerful right now. You can see 33 or you can see 6, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So that also is in reference for this code as a personal code to the person that I created it for, as the 33 the 33 vertebrae, which 24 of those 33 vertebrae are actually movable. The other batch of them basically are fused together through our tailbone or sacral area through our tailbone. So there's a lot of information here. This is multi-dimensional. So what you're seeing is just like a 2D imprint of a huge third-dimensional image. Okay, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. We may experience this a few times. Again, I'm still getting rid of the cold that I have. All right, so any other comments or insight? I'm gonna get this one a minute as well.
Christy, as soon as you showed the image, I felt the energy coming off of the picture inside my third eye, in my front head, and went into my head and my back.
Excellent. Did it go through your spine?
Yes,
Excellent.
and I thought immediately of the pictures Orf mentioned. He has this on his camera when he in a few advances before.
Yeah.
You videotaped it, Orf.
Yeah, I did. I videotaped it.
Yeah,
And then
I remember that. Yes.
yeah, and I just sent it out. I can send it out to, I'll send you a copy right now too. But
Yeah.
I took it with my video camera and then I was able to capture each frame.
Yeah.
And then I put it together into an animated GIF. And so I was able to crop them all the same size and enhance them and stuff.
I saw it right away.
Yeah. I'll send it to you right now. Matter of fact.
Cool. Very good. Okay, anybody else? Okay.
I just wanted to add something.
Yeah.
I'm a feeler, and so I love doing these with you because I was just like the gentleman from Belgium. I felt it exactly going through my third eye and through my back, up my spine, and I just love having that validation and confirmation from other people. So thank you for saying that. I never know, is it just me? Does everybody feel it? But it's just magnificent. I just love it.
Cool.
It's like reading a newspaper, right? I don't know what I'm reading.
That's exactly right.
But definitely getting information, and it's really cool. So thank you for doing what you do. This is just truly magnificent.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's beautiful.
Well, that confirms what both of you said about the spine, because that is the frequencies going through the spine right now. And even though you may not feel it, it's that guaranteed. Okay. Let's go to the,
I have a thought as
Yeah.
well.
go ahead.
Looking at, on the blue line that goes across, it looks like musical notes that are strung across. And what I kind of feel like the heart is tuned to the sound of the soul. And with the vertical pieces, to me, almost seems like we're being stretched and pulled. And given whatever it is we're being given right now in the form of energy and downloads and so on. I know I'm not articulating this very well.
Oh, that's great, Paul. That's
It's
great.
more feeling into it. And I just feel jittery as I look at it energetically.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Everything is energy and vibration.
Yes. And this is a reflection of that, really. And also the color. Okay. Then go to the next one. Okay, this particular code is the one that I had created right before I did the meditation, the Cathar meditation. And then after the meditation happened and we all were on the call, the woman asked if we had comments, and I said, I have a light code that I know is for this meditation. And she said, great, bring it forth. So I did. So this light code is called Diamond Golden Heart Light. And it came through specifically at the time for that call, and whatever activation we all did, all 85 of us did at that point, it was for that. So I'm bringing this forward now too. And as light codes come through me, what I'm understanding more now is that I am anchoring them into the earth. And, with you you guys involved in this process as well, and whatever your signature is, adding to that, enhancing that, whatever it is, you know, adding your frequencies to the light code as we anchor it into the earth. So this one has a lot of, I mean, it has the same sort of frequency line, and this frequency, actually, I want to step back. Paul, what you said about music is absolutely right. When the first one came through, A Star You Are, I mentioned that was her personal light code. The woman that I brought it forth to, was guided to with the stars and this frequency. She's a classic trained pianist. So knowing that you know, music, sound is such a big part of this. And that's why light language is as well. And this is sort of just a visualization of that. Again, it goes multi-dimensional into sacred geometry, into things that we couldn't even imagine. But we will at some point soon. With this one, it is a sort of a balancing. This is the, you know, the divine masculine and divine feminine represented here. The genetic imprint of the heart within the diamond code, within the pentagon. The pentagon, in my view, as this code came through, was like returning home. So our genetic imprint is returning home into our physical bodies, is how we're housing it right now, or will be housing it, or we are. And then the swords going through here again, just participating in the frequencies with the light, the trivecta, a triune, we want to say that here. Specifically, different sizes, which a lot of times when I do these, they're the same size, all the circles, but this one has a different pattern to it. And also, you know, a lot of things, you know, are like this side is the same as this side. This is different from this side. This is different from this side in terms of the way you visualize it, and what you're seeing is not consistent. I don't know, I think that made sense, but it just came through, whatever it is. In the input.
I've been doing some meditations lately with diamond light codes. And Sean and I just did something together, and we were specifically, I don't know if you remember that, we specifically brought that in, Shauna. And then I know everything right now is the rebalancing of the divine feminine and divine masculine. And one thing that was presented to me this week that was a little bit new information, I see the 3 circles, and an idea that's been brought to me is we have source, and we usually consider source of creation as a singular source. But what was presented to me in the work I'm doing is you have source of light, and then you have source of darkness, right? And they actually overlap to create the polarity and duality within the earth plane. And when you recognize that and you balance the light and dark within yourselves, and when we balance it within the collective, we'll have source of unity. And so I see the 3 circles. That's what that means to me. And when I connected with this, my heart immediately went, it just like totally connected with that. And my body was doing all sorts of different things. And the swords, the crossed swords, in my world, in the world I do, and the work that I do, it's not that we are fighting, right? We're trying to overcome the darkness, or the darkness is even trying to overcome the light. That's not what it is. That's all an illusion. But the real tapestry is when we can balance the light and dark. And then we realize that it's not swords. It really is just energy vectors of balancing that energy. And then we will shift into the unity source consciousness. That's what I get. That's my 2 cents.
That's exactly right, Sandy. It is a unity. It is about unity. the observation or what has come through for you about the source light, source dark, and then the unity of the two makes perfect sense. It is the three pillars is what it is. It's the three pillars of our being coming together in unity now as one. And the swords are actually connecting those pillars through the light. Yeah. This is about unity. This is about balance. Balance is unity. It is the Christo Sophia. It's the mother arc. It's the mother energy what comes through me a lot is the mother energy. So I do feel like that is that's what we're all coming back to. That's what we're all remembering, that mother energy coding, which is love ultimately.
Yeah, super energetic for me too, upon seeing this the first time, and also coming, looking at it as if it were a scale, with even like you've got the little point at the very bottom where the left and the right are balanced through this whole triad of the light, the dark, and then the unity. I mean, it's just incredible. But yeah, Sandy, I agree with everything you said too. This is a perfect representation of what we we're just talking about this morning. It's amazing. It's so
It's
synchronistic.
finally planned, isn't it?
It's so synchronistic. It's just, you can't even make this stuff up.
Yeah. I'm just going to comment too to Lori. Lori, are you still on the call?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay.
just, as you know, I've been super sick. So
Yes, right. I just wanted to comment as it relates to your light code too. Lori has also a personal light code, and it has this sort of, it has this scale of balance in a different format. Hers is actually a diamond code too, but it's all related. It's all related. Do you feel anything with that, Lori?
Yeah, I felt the similarity to the code that you did for me. And definitely the the goddess energy, the mother frequency for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And unification, balance. Yeah, it's powerful.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Jules. I'm chiming in really quickly.
Yes, please.
So I'm on two screens at the same time, and I have to speak in this anyway. So until I'm called to speak in this other Zoom meeting that I'm in, I'm listening to you guys. This is amazing, and so a lot of what we work with, and I've mentioned it before, is like liquid crystal. And then the diamonds on here, like I've in the last probably 3 months or so, have really started doing a lot of grid work. Didn't know that I was a grid worker, but that's kind of how it's shown up to be. And so those just jump out at me of it as like the grid pattern work of the diamond. And then there's all that inside of it that's just so amazing. I love your work. I love your work. And it is synchronistic for me as well, certainly of conversations that I've been in recently and things that I'm discovering. So thank you for hosting this today.
Sure. Thank you. Very cool. So as I was kind of getting ready this morning, I was guided to do some more research too. And I don't know if any of you follow Lisa Renee. She's very complex in what she brings forth, and sometimes it's kind of hard to understand. But it's like I'll read stuff and it's like I may not quite understand it, but I do understand it, and I can't even describe that. Or maybe you actually know. You read something, it's like, God, that feels right, but I couldn't even reiterate or rephrase what I just read, kind of thing. But anyway, with looking at her stuff this morning, crystal, I was looking up star because she has like a glossary. It's called Ascension Glossary. And I went in to put star because star keeps coming up. It's come up through light codes, the Star Man series, light codes. And, you know, a star is a reference to us, but a star in terms of us being light beings, but there's much more behind it. And so I looked up and it came through the crystal star, which is the law of one. It's the it's Christ consciousness, it's unity. So it's very fitting for this actual, these light codes. Anything else?
I have one more piece.
Yeah.
Talking about the three aspects of source, light, dark, and unity. Kind of the critical piece is that at the center is the shaft of light. Like when I see it visually, and some other people I'm working with, when we see it, we see the three overlapping, and then in the center is prime source. It's like this shaft of light, and it's just so beautifully articulated in this. And I forgot to mention that before. It's just, I was like, well, that's everything right there. but I forgot that piece. But yeah, it's just amazing. I love it.
Thank you. Okay, we got the sun coming in here right on my face. That's good. We got the sun energy today too.
Put up some images of those on my screen.
Yeah, definitely.
Those are just some of them, but I have, you know, like 100 all going by within a second of each other, you know, real fast.
Right, that's the GIF.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect, beautiful.
One other piece that I just think is like, it makes me smile is I love that on the hearts, it looks like a fingerprint, like it's the fingerprints of God, right?
Yeah, it's our genetic, that's what I have on the very first page is our genetic imprint.
Yeah.
In our heart.
Yeah. But again, it's the balancing, right? Everybody has the light, everybody has the dark, the fingerprints are all over it. And it's just the balance. Yeah.
Yeah, but which has been probably the most challenging part for us, or the part that's been harder to comprehend is that darkness within us, you know, balancing that out with the lightness, because that's what makes us who we are. Okay, okay, so those are the two light codes that came through for today on this 1212 portal. And then again, when I was looking this morning, I found this image. And it's called Guardians. So there is the Guardian race that are overlooking this whole experiment strategy, everything that's going on. And again, this was on Lisa Renee's website also, and I took it from there. I thought this is really fitting for this today. So we're calling the Guardians in with this work today to assist us in fully grounding this energy, receiving this energy, embodying this energy, and feeling it in every way through our 4 body systems. Does anybody have any input on this?
There's so much to this one as well. It's just beautiful. And when I looked at it, I just couldn't stop grinning ear to ear. And I love the image in the back where it kind of looks like a Stargate or maybe the bottom of a ship. Who knows what, you know, whatever you want to look at, but just the coloring and just the grid work that's within the plates. It's beautiful. It's just, I just can't stop grinning. It's just beautiful.
It's beautiful artwork. I give the credit to I believe the artist or the group is called Sequoia Art. That's the name of who has done this work. But it's just really beautiful. It does kind of look like they're in a spaceship or something, and they're gathered around, probably talking about what we're doing down here. But yeah, it just feels very fitting for this today.
It gives me a grounding feeling. It came in my solar plexus and went to my legs into the earth.
Ah, So you're grounding in the energies already.
Feeling, yes.
Excellent. Okay. I'm going to go to the next one. Okay, another artwork. This was actually a land artwork in 1997. It's called Desert Breath, and it's by these three artists listed here. And it covers 25 acres of land in the Egyptian desert. I doubt very seriously it's there now, but it was created. I don't know what the duration of the creation was. But if you see, I mean, these are huge holes in the ground and stuff, so it's very big, and I don't know how high up this is. But they called it Desert Breath. And why I'm bringing this up too, again, these synchronicities of people bringing forth on Facebook or people I'm connected with, bringing forth something, saying, I don't know why this is coming forth, but I'm guided to bring it forth and show it. So when I saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, there is something. This is like a sacred symbol. It could be God, source, it could be unity, it could be so many different things. But in her write-up with it, because she was getting downloads of information, she basically described it as this spiral coming down to a mountain and just dissolving the mountain, I guess, as it integrated into the earth. And she called it wisdom, and I'll show you something in a minute that connects with this. But the reason why I picked up on it was because I had received a gift of a glass sort of coin almost that has this pattern on it recently. And it's like, oh my God, that is the sacred symbol. There's something here that needs to be expressed. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but you know, we don't need words to describe things. We just need to receive through our heart the activations. So here's another image of it, a little closer up. And here's the image of the gift that I received, which I incorporated in my crystal grid that's up. I'm going to show you here in a minute. So I'm calling it new wisdom. So this spiral, this sacred symbol, I'm just giving the name of new wisdom coming in. And that's what we are creating, the new wisdom. As we collect the old, as we collect all the sacred knowledge, we're creating this new wisdom that's becoming the new earth.
So I'm going to give a shout out to Shauna, because we just left this meditation that we were working on a grid, and we brought in the solfeggio frequencies. We brought in this spiral and imprinted it onto the grid. So I just can't stop laughing. It's perfect.
Synchronicity.
Synchronicity is crazy.
On point.
Yeah. Yeah.
With everything. And I just, good job, Christy, good job.
Synchronicity, we're all connected here. We're starting to really connect in a way that, yeah, we can't even imagine, I guess. Okay, so I had this by my bedside. I thought this needs to go in my crystal grid. So then I got a lot of these in my window. It's my little altar, and then I added. That's the new wisdom right there. So I added it in this pattern, which I'll show you from above, a grid, and I knew it meant something, and I didn't know what it was. So I sent it to my friend Ingrid, who is able to read things really easy, even music. She can hear music and she knows what it means. And she said that the grid that was just repeated was telling of an astrological changes coming in May of next year. Planetary shifts. She mentioned Mars and Venus. And that the winter solstice we're about to enter into will prepare for that shift. So here is the view from above. of that crystal grid. So a lot of quartz crystals here, selenite. This is like a little tree here. This was also a gift. I was given a friend that does sound healing, and she actually had a heart bowl with the frequencies of the heart that had broken. And so she knew it was time to up the ante, I guess, in that bowl, and she bought her a new one. But that bowl, she actually had an artist make shapes out of all the fragments of it. And she made some hearts, and she actually gave me one of the hearts. So this is incorporated into the grid of a heart sound bowl. It's funny because this one, Susan, you gave me this one. This is argon pyramid.
Oh, the pyramid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I recognize that.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for including it in that beautiful group of beauties.
Yes, it was calling.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
And then this one also, the cross, of course, it has the word hope on it. I don't know if you can see that. So, you know, it's funny because it's not one of those fancy grids like you see, but I just knew when I was bringing it forward, it's like, there's something here, you know, because I was so focused on it and knew that there was something. So I don't know really what it means, but change other than what Ingrid said, but in May of next year, some major planetary shifts or changes that I think will impact us, and we'll see some big things. Mars and Venus, that makes sense.
I think we're going to have a lot of shifts and changes starting in January and February of next year for sure.
Certainly. Yeah. I mean,
Lots of stuff.
they're already happening now, but it's just going to get
Better. Bigger and better.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is just some written information. You guys can read it. I'm not going to read it because of my voice right now. So I'm going to, if you're interested, you can read it, and we'll just have a little bit of silence in the meantime. A question for you. I don't have my mic on right now, so I'm asking if you guys can hear me very well.
Hear you good.
I thought this was just good information. That was just, you know, it's one of those timing things, synchronicity. So I just wanted to put it up. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do the light, bring the light language too. I may go into a coughing frenzy, just to warn you. So I'll regroup if that happens. Hopefully it won't. This does feel like a different kind of energy coming through as far as what it might sound like. I'm not sure, so we'll see.
We may have one more person trying to merge in real quick.
Yeah, I just see that. Amy, welcome. You're just in time.
Can I just share something that's totally
Yes,
wacky in my world?
sure.
I'm connected with my interdimensional team, and when they're watching and something really cool happens, they give me a thumbs up. Like, it's not me. It's not me. They give me a little hand, and I just got a little thumbs up, and that just brings me so much joy. So just so you know, we're totally connected.
All right. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, and what timing? You just come in right about the time that I'm about to bring the light language through. So a light language, so when I bring the light codes in and then the light language, that's like almost like I interpret it as like a seal of the light codes into the earth. And then whatever energies you're getting from, because light language is all about activation of DNA, our cellular structure, our crystallinity, our sacred knowledge, our experiments and stories that want to come forward to show us whatever it is that we need to know. So here we go. So if everybody wouldn't mind muting yourselves. All right. Namaha yatapa ujatahi namaha. Uji anama etai jatabaha and nama japha ki uzda. Tujanama ala ujita na japahi namaha yatabakona jatahi ujita. Tujda, tujda, tujda. Tunama ala kuni japekuna ala ujita ayatapahi nama uta ahi. Tijda. Bye. Nama ai nama nama ai nama nama ai nama ai nama. Nai nama ai nama ai nama ai nama ai nai nama ai. Ajanamaha. Tuji atapi ut ajatapaha nama ala ku uti jatapai tapai 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 yapa. Dajanama agakuna isha tabaya 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 tabaya. Ujdahan. Nama aku itu isha tabakan. Ta'a tu isha aku. Na eiche, anachun, nechai, yanachun, nechai, ajahun, yanachun, ida acha, unamakai, ida ajadachun, nachi, tapachai, hunacha, hutachuna, hutachunacha, ajabra, nama ala ujda. Dainja nama alak uta ijda ita. Ujda ai to una ija tahai nama ala ita. Ijda. Dajata. Hatakin. Ronama Uta I japa akai. Ni jata ayata bakana majita ba alagujda. Ayata bakuna jata kin nama tujda bakan kuna hijda bakun. Jonama hata unama alakuna ijita bakan. Nama hayta bakun. Ja'ayna nama ha. Tijda akin. Nama ha. Tijda una shida ha. Tujda nama ha. Ni ijaha. Tidbehi nama ha. Tujda akin. Onamaha tapi japaha tapi japaha tapi tujda. Tujda. to onamaha, to ujdaba aku, inama alaku, uja eata, uja eata ita ota kain, nama hushita eata, ujata kain, nama aku, ujda ata ida onamaha. Ujda nama hona ijda kain, nama hona ijda ha ita. عندما آخذ تجد إيقائي 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 تئي فاشتا تتبخان ما أنهيجدا هاكون ما لكو تيجدا بأخا تخي تيجدا هاهي تقي تيجدون ما لكو جتقي تقي تقي تيجدا بأخا تكون ما لكو أجتا أيدا تجدا خان نما لكونا إجدا كان أي إنما على أنا إجدا هذا رأنا إجدا تجدا بقى تجدا أجدا 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 we all back? You can unmute yourself.
Just felt like I was in some kind of an energetic boot camp. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
Are we being kicked around a little bit and repositioned? And
Oh, I'm so taking a nap. I'm just gonna go like this. How do you feel after that? There's so much throat stuff going on for me today, and actually this week, to be
oh
honest.
yeah, this has been for the last 2 weeks, and I think they helped me out right now. I mean, I'm definitely getting better, but I was afraid I was going to go into coughing frenzy. That's what happens, especially at night. I just can't stop coughing.
Oh,
And a lot of times when I talk, it just gets it activated. So that's why I wasn't sure how this was going to go today. But so far, it's been pretty good. Just a few little outbursts, but I think they helped with the energy. There was several times where I just got silent. I don't know if you noticed that, but I think they were helping me at that point.
yeah. It was incredible. I felt that very deep.
I'm always curious if anyone gets any like specific messages or downloads. Like my team was like, just lay there and absorb. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it is true. And so many people do different things. Nyla always has some amazing story. So I don't know if she was
Nyla, where are you at?
she gets some beautiful experiences a lot of times. So I didn't know if she got one this time, but it's like, what do you got? What do you got?
I'm like a 5-year-old. I love it all.
Well, this time it was kind of what happened to me on 8/8, and there was some sort of distortion in the group energy. So my team just immediately pulled me into holding that barrier around the space. So fortunately and unfortunately, I didn't get to have the visions and the specific messages because I was so focused on holding the perimeter, and whatever it was must have been really important because that's what they had me doing, was just holding my energy, basically expanded out to become the perimeter of the container that all of this was traveling through, and nothing else from outside could penetrate, so that we could create this energy to come into Earth. So unfortunately, I don't have any
That's
messages.
fine. Apparently you had some other things to do.
Yes, it was portal duty. It was
Yeah. You are the portal, the
gateway manager.
Is that what I call it? I think the gatekeeper or something. Yeah, for sure. It's very interesting. I mean, what you said, because I mean, there is a lot of distortion. I mean, there's the continued distortion that's trying to happen, and you know that those beings or entities or whatever you want to call them know when we're doing this kind of stuff. So you know, we needed your energy. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And I could feel your perimeter, and we were building on it. And I do these grids, and they're like, "Oh, just hold it." And I could tell we were building mine on something, and we were definitely keeping something out. It was very active. I was aware, and it wasn't that I was receiving messages, but it's like we were keeping that container safe. So yeah,
it's like a purity, like allowing the purity to come through without any kind of interference.
Mm-hmm. So I'm so curious. Did anybody get a message? Amy jumped on at the last second. Sometimes she can get something.
I didn't get messages, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
So that's interesting because sometimes people do and sometimes they don't. Before I say anything, I'll just see if Kimberly, did anything come through for you?
No, nothing specific. Nothing specific. Just a lot of I feel like I'm beat up as well.
Interesting.
A lot of energy coming through the high heart. My heart is just racing. I did have one visual, but nothing, no spoken words. But my visual was like a star in the center of my chest. That was just blazing like I can't even describe what it was like. And my chest felt like it was literally on fire. So I'm not sure, you know, what it all means. I'm not sure what it all means, but it was certainly beautiful and touching. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, ironically, you got a star. That was the first light code. A star you are. That was the first light code. And that's what you got in your chest, which is the heart, which is the genetic imprint. So somehow we were really, perhaps thought is that we were really anchoring our genetic imprints into the grid because we are a part of the guardian races. And this was divinely scheduled to bring through in this 1212 our genetic imprints in this not now time. It does feel really big. I can't put too many words to it, but just by what you said and just sort of feeling into it, Nyla, Sandy, keeping. It's like I think Nyla before you held open the gate. It was another portal. I don't remember which portal that was. Which one was it? Do you remember? Was it?
It was the Lion's Gate.
It was the Lion's Gate. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So again, this group, which is some different people in this group, some of the same people doing the same kind of work, which is, I think it has so much to do with our genetic imprint, which again is the sacred knowledge that we're bringing forth, so we can tap into it, into our physicality.
Yes, I think this one was definitely beyond the mind. We want so much to understand it and, file it away in different cabinets. And I think this was deeper than that. It was like a physical imprinting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was allowing our physical bodies to imprint our genetic code. It feels like something like that.
Yeah.
Because that is our physical bodies bring heaven to earth through our physicality. We are the conduits. So yeah, I think there's a lot to it, but yeah, it's hard to find words for it. Anybody else?
The strength of the blade reminds me of a branding iron on the farm.
A branding iron? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yes. The strength of the sun, the heat, the burning, the fire. It was just like branding. I don't know if any of you ever been on a farm and seen an animal, the branding.
Yeah.
It certainly feel like in my chest, and it's still just really, really burning.
Interesting. I don't know if you guys could hear that part, but so the physical branding of an animal gets branded with the fire, the heat of the iron. That's what Kimberly's saying that she's feeling in her chest. So, wow, I wonder if that's like activation.
I think there's something as I'm kind of letting these energies settle after you're done here. It definitely is feeling much more physical for me today than it has in the past, where I've gotten more kind of messages or I've seen visions and seen you even turn into something else, Christy, as you're doing your stuff. But
what was that?
This just felt like Yeah, just so energetic and just these shifts. And I mean, just a bit of in the physical body, just, I mean, I'm seriously exhausted. I'm really, and we're very, very powerful, very different this time.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be different. And the fact that we keep saying physical. So, so this is here now, this is the physical. We're bringing this energy into the realm of physicality, which, you know, we've not quite done yet. And that's where we are with these new energies.
I mean, we cannot forget that we are here on the planet as starseeds and light workers, in physical body and physical form for a reason. I mean, it's important, guys, that we are not just always trying to be up with our teams in the etheric and you know, always up in this realm, up on our ships and up, you know, doing our things in meditation, but that we're able to actually be really, really present here in our bodies and to be the walking embodiment of love and light. As cliche as that is, it is truly just as simple as it is for our missions. And not to overcomplicate that. So make sure that you've got plenty of time to get your face off of, you know, out of a book, get out of your books, get out of your videos, get off of Facebook or whatever, and be out there doing the work, just being very conscious in your physicality of being a beacon of light as you walk the planet here on your 2 feet. We cannot lose sight of this, and this is so, so important.
Yeah, totally agree. That makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. Very interesting.
So I might share that what I experienced was first a lot of buzziness, then a lot of jitteriness through my body. And then I had tears coming. Then I had like really deep peace, like all that stopped. And I just had quite a while of peace and quiet. Afterward, I kind of asked, I usually ask after these, is there an integration period of 10 or 15 minutes? This was going to be all day, I think, to integrate this. And the interesting thing I'm feeling right now, it's not like head pain. I feel like somebody's just holding their hand on my forehead. It's not a headache. It's not a pain. It's not, but there's just this light pressure like somebody has on the front of my brain.
Wow. Wow. That's profound. Thank you, Paul. Wow. Exciting. These are so exciting times. Wow. We're coming into a whole new world with new energies. You know, they are going to become physical, where we can comprehend them in our bodies so much, which is right on for me, because the whole thing that Sean and you were talking about, you know, on the spaceship with our guides and stuff, I'd never seen any of that. Never experienced any of that. So it's like, this is perfect for me. Bring it on.
So Christy, you should hang out with us more.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the GFL has told me directly to Galactic Federation of Light. I channel the Galactic Federation of Light, guys, if you don't know what I do, but they've said very clearly February, March, and April, big time energies coming on, lots of activations, awakenings. Like it's really going to be kind of, you know, we're kind of like this first wave, you know, this is going to be kind of the second wave, and 2022 is going to be incredible. But what were we saying about who talked about May? Did somebody in this call say, yeah?
It was about that grid, that crystal grid that I had done. I knew it meant something. I sent it to my friend Ingrid, and she said that in May that there was going to be a total astrological shift with Mars and Venus.
We're gearing up for this right now. This is like the kickoff for this, and it's a physical situation. And my team, I mean, they've asked me to lose 20 pounds. I mean, exercise 2 hours a day. I'm doing terrible at this, by the way. Exercise every day. It's the water. It's complete, you know, vegetarian, vegan if you can, guys. I mean, we are, you know, and you're kind of where you need to be at this time also to help anchor that light in, and just, you know, being really grounded in that in your bodies. But yeah, fun times. This next spring's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Wow. Really exciting.
And with that, there may be some things that may not feel overly amazing, but just keep your eye on the long-term thing.
Good call.
We'll all get through it.
Oh, yeah.
Good call.
Nothing to be afraid of, as long as we can hang on to the big picture vision.
Yeah, so what have experienced, and I know Lori's experiencing it, and I have a lot of friends that have experienced it here recently, is a sickness of some sort, not knowing what it is. It's definitely not COVID, but it's, it's some sort of energy that's going through us, that's clearing us, that's purifying us, to handle this and to really cleanse our bodies, our physicality. You talk about losing weight and stuff. I think some of us are losing weight. I just had a friend also that her husband had a near-death experience, where that means her whole family had the near-death experience. So we're in the death and rebirth process. So these sicknesses that we're having, if you haven't had it, you may. And I think some of us are kind of getting fearful. I know I did when I first got sick. So, God, what is this? And you just have to relax into it and know it's a purification process, and you're getting rid of all those, whether it's karma, whether it's the traumas. And I spoke of the cathars. This happened, right as I was going through that. So, it's really getting rid of all that stuff, so we can really embody this energy into our physical bodies.
Yep. Yep. So as Sandy said, it might be a little bit of pain and mixed in here with the bliss.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all divine, and you're ready for it. And I've met a lot of people who are really just like really newly awakening. Their hearts are opening, right? And so they think they go to the doctor thinking they're having heart palpitations and heart attacks when it's the energy of their heart opening. So you might see more of that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Yeah, we felt the same as Paul mentioned, the slight pressure on his head.
Yeah.
And also we both felt the energy went away, and now it's coming back in the body again. We feel the heat and the slight pressure in the whole body and also in the head.
Uh-huh. So Paul mentioned its integration through the day. I don't know, Paul, if that was just for you, it's for all of us. Everybody's different. I guess there might be a different integration period for us, but that's our humanness thinking it's all now, but there's going to be a period of time. The energy is so big. So hard to comprehend what it is, and our mind wants to, but that's not going to happen. We're just going to have to feel it through.
And not be afraid.
Yeah, no fear. Yeah, the no fear zone. That's what we're in now. Sure.
We came here for this, guys. We're ready for it. We came for it. We got to hold the light.
It's getting fun. It's getting more fun, guys.
It is. It's exciting. Just seeing, because like I said, I don't have the visions, but the synchronicities, it's like, really? I haven't experienced it, and something happens, and then it connects the dots in a way that, my mind can't tell me, but the way that it all came together, I can see it's a puzzle pieces coming together. Can I explain it? No, I can't. But it's coming together. It's definitely coming together. So fun.
And what I love is watching so many different people stepping up into their gifts and sharing. Like what you do is very unusual, but I love it. And I don't exactly know what happens, but I know it totally fits in with the work that Amy and Shauna just did.
Yeah.
We just did, with our stuff, and it's beautiful. And so now we need to get everybody else to step in fully into the power, because they all are holding their little puzzle pieces,
That's a really great point, Sandy, because I know, because like I said, when I first started doing these group sessions, I just felt like, even on my YouTube, I felt like I needed to know what I was going to say, and I'd write out things and I'd kind of script it. It never felt right to me. It's just like my jobs all these years, they never felt right. You know, I'm trying to force something because I didn't really understand the energy. The energy is way beyond words. And, you know, it's so far into the unknown. We're not going to know in this now. We just have to be comfortable with feeling it and knowing. And so feeling and knowing are very connected, that it's happening. And if you have any sense of a gift, whether it be light language, you know, channeling other entities, whatever it is, you know, allow yourself to do it. And because that is one of your gifts coming forward. And, you know, a lot of us don't, you know, are scared or fearful, you know, probably from past life traumas or something, or, you know, don't feel like we know enough, which is exactly what I said. I didn't feel like I knew enough. I just knew it was this powerful energy coming through. And it's like, wow, I don't know. It just wants to come through. And, you know, my heart would always just like start beating really hard. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to bring it through. So
Beautiful. I do some funky stuff too. So if you ever want to feel better about yourself, call me.
We all have some interesting things, I'm sure, we can speak about.
Faith is so important. Faith and trust, guys. We're taking a huge leap of faith here with all this crazy, right? It's fun. I'm having fun finally.
And I think it's so important to connect and support each other, right? And kind of normalize what we're doing. Like, this is it. This is the new normal. Like, a lot of people talk about post-COVID, the new normal. I'm like, this right here, this is the new normal.
Right.
At least in my world.
Yeah, and it's building strength. As we come together, we're building strength within ourselves and within the collective. So I mean, I want to reach out to people all the time. I thought, oh no, I don't want to bug them. But you know, it's just like we're wanting to come together now. We're wanting to not be social butterflies per se, but to express the energy. And when we come together, it's like, you know, we're like you know, firecrackers, I think.
Well, I think we activate each other.
Oh, totally.
So what you just did just helped everybody, and what Shauna does helps everybody, you know.
And just everybody being here helps everybody. So it's just like a domino effect.
Yep. So when is your next one, Christy?
Well, I do think on the 21st, so the solstice, I know I have at least 3 light codes that are wanting to come through. Yeah, I'm sure that that'll be the time. So if some of you, if you could send me your email address, I can include you on the initial invite. I don't know if you have, let's see, the best way. I know that Amy, I guess, and Paul would be the only 2. Everybody else has my information. Or Kimberly, you don't, well, I have your email. So Amy and Paul, if you could connect with Sandy, and then Sandy could send me your emails. That might be the easiest way. And I can be sure that you're all on the initial email. And then spread it around, you know, whoever else, whoever will join us will be the people who need to join us. So, yeah.
Perfect. And do you know what time on the 21st?
I don't know yet. I'll have to kind of feel into that one. But I guess that's not too far away, but I'll probably by the end of next week, I'll put something out.
Great.
Before then, maybe. Yeah, because we're already next Saturday's the 18th, so we're getting close. Time's flying. Okay, anybody else have anything?
Just thank you. Thank you for standing in your light.
Thank you.
You know, Christy, I just wanted to say something about what you said earlier. When you first started this, you felt like palpitations, a little bit of fear. I think that's absolutely normal because a lot of us have a genetic memory of being killed or burnt at the stake for being powerful people and being of the spirit. And so a lot of us were killed for our beliefs. So it's kind of a genetic memory, I think, to initially be a little afraid to speak out and be a person who shines the light, you know, because we've been so taken over by the bad guys in the past, you know what I mean? So that makes total sense. But thank thank you for everything, Christy. It's another wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christy. It was amazing.
Thank you. One thing I want to mention, just what Susan said, was that that is what has been coming to me more, and that I think that has been inhibiting to me is that experience as a Cathar, being burned. I think that's one of the most traumatic experiences you could probably have, is being burned. I don't physically, I mean, I don't remember it. I don't have visions of it. I just sort of have this knowing that is one of the main traumas that my body was holding. And that's why I needed to be on that meditation that day, so I could release that. So if anybody is holding that today, probably release that from you as well.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, everybody. I love you. And thank you
you.
so much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christy.
Thanks, Christy.
Bye-bye.
We'll see
Thank
you
you,
all
Christy.
on,
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
all right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.